On this episode of Helmet to Helmet Podcast, we've got football roundup breaking down college football first, the NFL, talking a lot of trade deadline, coaching decisions, coaching carousel, injuries, whole lot of stuff going on in the NFL today, some breaking news in there as well. Then we've got Boils My Milk. It's returned. 2 great rants there on Boils My Milk, and a little bit of college basketball to round it all up. Remember, like and subscribe to the pod. Let's get it. Welcome back to another episode of Helmet to Helmet. This is episode number 8. Last time we said it was 6, so we did 2 episode 6s and no episode 7. But now this is episode 8. We're skipping the number 7. It's unlucky number, as shown by the Berserk Bets blog. Not really a blog anymore, I guess, but the Berserk Bets went 2-5 on the weekend. I think it's the second worst weekend I've had so far of doing this. Only winners were Mississippi State plus 4.5 at Arkansas, and I did hit a sicko game, so I hit Kentucky minus 8.5, but lost the other sicko game, Hawaii plus 1.5 at San Jose State. The other only game on here that we don't really plan on talking a whole lot about, Georgia Tech minus 5.5 at North Carolina State. Actually, I guess we can talk a little bit about that. I was not prepared to see the ACC's big dogs really lose this week. Saw both Georgia Tech and Miami go down outright. Miami's loss seems a lot worse, though, now that they have 2.
Miami was funny. I'm sad about it. I like Georgia Tech, though.
Yeah, I like Georgia Tech. I like Brent Key. I like Haynes King. They're a fun team to watch. North Carolina State, they're frisky.
Yeah, hopefully they can get back in the playoffs. They dropped to 16.
Well, yeah, I think that they're going to be okay, though, because they should still be leading, or they should be in second in the ACC third behind Virginia and Louisville.
Virginia, yeah.
Because Virginia's loss wasn't a conference loss, even though it was a conference opponent. I think we've talked about this before.
That's interesting.
I think we may have mentioned this once.
And Miami sucks and has 2 losses because Carson Beck remembered who he was.
Yeah. Oh, also, we should point out the elephant in the room. We're not in the same setup as we usually are.
Oh, yeah, we should probably talk about that.
Today we've been Chicago White Sox, Colorado Rockies, whatever you want to use to show that it's we downgraded and we're not spending the money. Yeah, we're poor. We're playing budget ball, or money ball, some may call it. If you see random backgrounds behind us, we were having fun in editing. Otherwise, it's just going to be a green screen, and I won't feel bad about it. We did our best to decorate the front of this desk.
Jerseys,
yeah, so we left. Holding these microphones. Yeah, it's the worst thing, having to hold this the whole time while trying to simultaneously look up things on my laptop. But we can stop complaining. We're not a complaint podcast. We're a sports podcast. We move.
Well, I complain about sports, but not about microphones.
Yeah, we should not be complaining about microphones. Same thing with we're not going to be complaining about politics. That doesn't concern us. Although today is the Cincinnati mayoral election, so that's kind of fun. But
I can't vote because I didn't register.
Yeah, I can't vote in Ohio.
I registered last night, but it has to take time. So.
I can't vote because I'm not an Ohio citizen or resident technically. But anyway, enough dilly-dallying. We can get back into football. So we talked about Georgia Tech losing to North Carolina State, Miami losing to SMU. Another big ACC game was Virginia and Cal. Virginia wins by 10. It was a very close game, though. Virginia probably finds himself lucky to win that. Louisville wins another game. So very interesting things going on in the ACC. Another conference with some shocking results from the weekend was the Big 12. Really, I think the most shocking results of the whole entire weekend, in my opinion. It seemed like every game went the opposite way of what I thought. I was kind of a believer on the K-State Texas Tech. Thought K-State at home looked pretty good, but they just got blown out by Texas Tech, especially in the second half. I was watching that game, and K-State had a lot of chances to get in that game or take leads.
I felt like they were scrapping for a while.
Yeah, they were. It's kind of crazy. K-State's season started with Avery Johnson's dad and brother fighting after the Ireland game they were starting to look competitive, and then as soon as people got high on them again, they let everyone
and they're
down.
gone.
Yeah, just
And it's gone.
I mean that's just how it goes the way in college football. Another Big 12 result, the most shocking one to me was Utah blowing out Cincinnati. I fell, as seen in the Berserk bets, I fell for the Cincinnati plus 10.5 on the road. When lines like that happen, I need to just convince myself that they're set that way for a reason. And, there's people out there that know more than me. I even said on the podcast, like, if maybe Vegas knows something that I don't. And clearly they did. Because the 10 points wasn't even close. Like, they weren't even close to covering that game.
Yeah, I think Utah's head coach could be in the mix for some of the bigger roles that opened up. Utah's always competitive.
I don't see him leaving.
If he wants to stay at Utah.
Yeah,
obviously,
he's been there for so long.
Yeah. If he wants another job, he can definitely have it, but I'm just not sure if he wants one or not.
Yeah, there's a lot of when you get into schools like that where they could leave, but they've been there for so long, you kind of just you associate the Utah football program with Kyle Whittingham, and I don't see a world where he leaves. There's a lot of teams that would definitely benefit from having him at head coach.
Sure.
But yeah, Brendan Sworsby played his worst game of the year, 11 for 33. Can't have a 33% completion percentage on the road and expect to have any chance in that game. Utah, they had the game. They were up by 17 at half and just never really looked back from there. Played just as well in the second half. And if Utah just had two awful games against Texas Tech and BYU, that's going to probably keep them out of the playoff. But when they play their best, they look like one of the best teams in the country. They have such a good offensive line. And, I just want to apologize for taking Cincinnati plus 10.5. I clearly did not know ball on that.
I wouldn't have predicted that. They just fell apart randomly. They looked good all year.
Yeah, it's definitely weird. I didn't watch the game. Luckily, that would have been depressing to watch. But there was better games on at the time, so I haven't really gone back to watch highlights. I need to do that and see what was going on. But you can just look at the box score, and clearly Cincinnati was not able to throw. Surprisingly, he threw only 11 completions, but threw for 221 yards, and they ran the ball for 206 yards. They lost 2 fumbles and had a pick, 3 turnovers. Not going to win you those games.
That's a killer right there.
Another big result in the Big 12. West Virginia knocks off the Houston Cougars. This one doesn't really move the needle for me as much as the other 2 kind of games did. I didn't really think Houston was that good of a team. I definitely thought they were going to win the game for sure, but I didn't think. I guess it was maybe because it's West Virginia and they hadn't won a conference game yet, but I was not a big believer in this Houston team going into the year with Wegman at quarterback. I didn't think he was good at Texas A&M. I was just kind of confirmed in my belief that they're not very good. I'm happy for Rich Rod getting a big conference win at West Virginia. I kind of like the Mountaineers, but unfortunate for Houston because they held their own fate. They all they needed to do was win out in conference, and they would have found themselves in the Big 12 championship, but have a big road to climb ahead now. I suppose there's one game in the Big 12 that some people would want me to talk about, maybe a certain team that plays in Central Iowa. Sadly, one of the worst days of my entire life was watching on Saturday Jeff Sims and the Arizona State Sun Devils beat the Iowa State Cyclones with my father in attendance at the game. I have no words to describe how awful I felt. Nothing could have prepared me 2 years ago if I would have been told, oh yeah, I'm going to lose to Jeff Sims in 2 years. I would have laughed you out of the room. But that's the way that the world goes sometimes. I hate to say this, but Rocco Becht, I will not be sad when he leaves Iowa State. He has been a serviceable quarterback, but the mistakes that he makes are glaring. He misses guys not by a couple inches. He misses them by a couple of yards. His picks are always bad, interceptions. They're never like tip ball or anything like that. It's always guy was overthrown by 3 yards, ball was thrown behind him, bad read, just some awful, awful things. And then Rocco Beck threw a hospital pass to Ben Bramer, almost did get him hospitalized. He got taken off in a stretcher, concussion protocol. He's fine now. It was very, very scary because I love Ben Bramer's one of the best Iowa State players of the last few years, especially at tight end. And, yeah, it was so brutal to watch. It ruined my Saturday. Luckily, I didn't let it ruin my weekend because I did, as seen on the podcast, decide that I'm not an Iowa State football fan for my emotional happiness on the weekends anymore. So, and Iowa State basketball starting last night definitely helped. So I have a couple things going for me, but not many things going for me at this moment. So if you want to take a victory lap on me, you can. I would have definitely done the same if Penn State would have won.
I mean, well, isn't the defense like really injured even too? Yeah, so like it's not like you're a bad team. You just have 0 players.
We're bad. We're real
you
bad.
just like all your good players are hurt. Kind of bad team, not just
our whole
terrible school.
Our whole offense is like pretty much healthy. I mean, we have guys that get hurt. Carson Hansen, our running back, got hurt. He was out for a couple series, I think, and I'm so done with Iowa State football. We'll be lucky to win another game. Luckily, we don't have any more hard games. I think we have Kansas, TCU, and Oklahoma State, so we could still win all 3.
Oh, you're gonna beat Oklahoma State. They're terrible.
See, but you say that. You say that we're gonna beat Oklahoma State. I would have said.
Has Oklahoma State even won a game yet? I don't think so.
They beat an FCS team.
Oh, but okay. All is well.
But yeah, I mean, if you would have asked me on Saturday morning, Zach, Jeff Sims is starting at quarterback for the Sun Devils, are you losing this game? And I would have said absolutely not. The Cyclones just got outcoached. Dillingham had a great game plan, really just using Jeff's legs, which is, he does run the ball very well. He is a good runner. He just can't throw the ball and he fumbles a lot. But I don't know. It was just I lapped and dunked on Jeff Sims so many times when he was at Nebraska. I met him in person once, and I watched people insult him to his face, calling him Trash Sims. And now to sit here after having lost to Jeff Sims, I want to leave. I don't want to talk.
Nebraska still lost, though.
I know. I can't even be happy about it, though, because they covered.
Yeah.
So Nebraska lost, and we don't need to talk about Iowa State anymore. We can segue over to the Big Ten and start going over some of those.
You might have
games.
some breaking news.
Breaking news. We are filming this like right before NFL trade deadline, so we might have.
One of my friends just texted me about oh my goodness. Yeah, as of 6 minutes ago, the Indianapolis Colts are trading 2 first-round picks for the Jets corner Sauce Gardner.
What?
Sauce Gardner.
Breaking news. Sauce Gardner to the Colts.
2 first-round. I wouldn't have given up 2 first-round picks for Sauce. I think he's overrated.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, Sauce tweeted right before, like minutes before being traded, said, New York, it's been real. Wow.
Yeah, so a little bit about Sauce. Yeah, I think he's a little overrated. I think he got pushed a lot because of New York media. But this is huge for the Colts.
This is huge for the Jets too.
Yeah, so the Jets are selling basically is what this means. I want the Browns to trade for Garrett Wilson, although the trade deadline is in like 3 hours from now, and I don't know if it's gonna happen.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying Breece Hall is next.
Yeah, I've seen Breece Hall and I've seen Garrett Wilson. That's really their star players. So Sauce Gardner on the move. This pushes the Colts. The Colts are like they're obviously buying the push for a championship.
Yeah, they're clearly.
I
respect it. I respect the hell out of that.
Yeah,
out of
2
that decision.
first-round picks all in.
I mean that is a risky move though for the Colts, because very easily Daniel Jones could start playing like New York Giants Daniel Jones.
I mean, he kind of did. We'll get into this later, but he kind of did versus the Steelers, of course, because the Steelers just can have anything they want.
Wow.
I will rant about this later.
Sauce Gardner to the Colts.
To be continued. That's big for 2 firsts.
Wow, that's great for the pod. Mid-pod.
Yeah, but breaking. Oh, is that Shaheed?
More breaking news. Rashid Shaheed has been traded from the Saints to the Seahawks.
Oh no, dude!
I wanted the Broncos to get him. Dang it!
I have JSN in fantasy. Shaheed, you better not be taking JSN's fantasy value, bro. I will find you. Really.
Wow, this.
Oh, and also Jacoby Myers traded to the Jaguars. That
there we have
trade deadline.
Okay, we might need to just pause on all these trades for when we start going over the NFL because there's more.
Oh yeah, there's gonna be. Usually it's like right up on the trade deadline. Is
Jacoby Myers to the Jaguars?
Yeah, I saw that. That was earlier today. Jacoby Myers obviously wanted to get traded. I guess you have a sure-handed receiver in Jacksonville now because Brian Thomas has been struggling. I think he leads the league in drops. And everyone else they have. Who else do they have? Travis Hunter, I guess, but he got put on IR. That's kind of it.
Okay, but yeah, let's
we'll get into all
yeah,
of
let's
this
take
in the
a
NFL
unless
segment.
there's any like breaking news like Sauce Gardner will interrupt, but wow, that was crazy.
That was big. Yeah.
Wow, I can't believe.
Shout out to my friend for texting me that I would not have checked.
Shout out. I would have eventually checked Twitter because I need to pull it up for something later, so I would have eventually seen it. But that's crazy. Yeah, jumping right back into
back to college. We'll get NFL later.
Back to the Big Ten Conference. We had Ohio State taking on Penn State early in the morning Saturday. Luke, what did you think of your Buckeyes?
Oh yeah,
I love Bo Jackson.
He's better than C.J. Donaldson and James Peoples.
Yeah.
It was funny is that not only does he share namesake with the great Raiders running back Bo Jackson, but his middle name is Lamar.
Real name? No, his real name is Lamar.
Oh, his real name is. So Bo's a nickname.
Bo's a nickname.
So he's either Lamar Jackson or Bo Jackson. That's a good namesake to have. But yeah,
they were talking about that on the broadcast on Saturday. They were mentioning that. I was like, that's crazy.
I think Bo is the best running back we have right now over Donaldson and Peoples. He's not the biggest guy though. Donaldson and Peoples are like bigger. So I guess if you want to archetype it back. Anyway, unfortunately, while I was at work, but I kind of had it on. I wasn't busy. Penn State was the first team to score a first-half touchdown versus Ohio State this year. Very, very sad. However,
it was close at half.
Yeah, they did scrap till halftime. Like we said on the podcast, it's still Penn State, so it's not like we're gonna go like 70-0 over we did over Grambling State.
Like, they do still have NFL caliber players.
But yeah, Ohio State pulls away in the second half for a big win. Kind of what I thought without Drew Aller and James Franklin. We would have won if James Franklin was still there because that's what James Franklin does. But yeah, the highlights for this game is only 3 minutes, which kind of tells you it's probably just Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate big catches. They almost had like identical stat lines. I think one of them had like one more yard, and I think it was Jeremiah Smith had 123 and 2 touchdowns, Tate had 124 and one touchdown.
Yeah. Yep.
So Sayin spreading the ball around. I saw some big shots. I think they're starting to get Sayin more into the big shot game.
Your guys' tight end is like never gets the ball, but he's like one of the best tight ends in the country.
Oh, Claire, yeah, we got him. We got him from Purdue. I'm kind of disappointed because I heard he was a star tight end at Purdue, and I was like, oh, we just got to because after we had Cade Stover plays for the Texans now.
Yeah,
he was a stud, but he's not getting much action in Houston. Kind of sad. But I was like, oh, we got our next good tight end because G. Scott was passable, but but I'm kind of disappointed.
I will say this.
He's still good when he gets the ball though.
This was the first Ohio State game I watched more than a quarter of since the Texas game, and wow, Sayin is. I mean, the throws that he makes downfield. I understand that, like, he obviously has the two best wide receivers in the country to throw to.
He has a lot of help.
But where he puts the ball is insane. Like he's the Heisman front runner right now, I think.
I don't know. I don't know if he's the betting odds, but I think he's up there.
He's one of the top 4 for sure.
I give it to Jeremiah Smith still.
I don't think Jeremiah Smith can get it because of the stats. He is the best player in the country.
But the team, when you put 3 or 4 guys on him,
and he still makes. I mean, even like double covered, he makes.
Oh yeah.
That catchy. One of them had a catch in the end zone that was just nuts.
Probably both of them.
Yeah, they.
Ohio State is cruising. Although I have heard some rumblings that the AP poll might consider putting Indiana at 1 because the Texas game doesn't hold as much weight. Of course, Texas now, after beating Vandy, is back at the 13, but they're not the number 1 team in the country like they were in the preseason. And other than that, we've beaten Illinois, Washington. I guess Washington, I don't think has been ranked this season. But apparently Indiana has a better resume. Of course, they beat Oregon.
I think they do.
So I like.
But Texas winning these games is helpful.
Yeah, Texas winning is obviously helpful. I like Indiana. I don't think they're better than Ohio State, but if you want to play the resume game and put them there, oh well. We'll see Indiana in the Big Ten championship game, and then that'll probably decide it.
Yeah, I would agree. I think Ohio State is the better team, but I think it sets a bad precedent if you rank Ohio State number 1 over Indiana because it shows that they value a preseason ranking or a brand name over your results on the field.
Yeah.
And I don't think you can say that Ohio State has better wins than Indiana, and I would almost argue that Texas A&M has better wins because Texas A&M has beaten Notre Dame, and I mean I don't want to sound like a cliche, but they do play an SEC schedule. They haven't really played.
SEC.
They really have only played Texas and LSU in the SEC, right? They played Texas.
I believe so.
They haven't really played. They haven't played Bama or I think they still play.
Georgia, Ole Miss, Vandy.
I think they played Missouri, and I want to say that they play Bama as well. But regardless, I think Indiana tonight is when that all comes out.
It's just hard to make that switch though because Ohio State hasn't fallen off, and they're winning the games that are in front of them. That's all you can ask for. But Indiana does.
But Indiana's
have
doing the same
wins.
thing.
Yeah.
Indiana, my one argument.
It's just the schedule is easier for Ohio State. That's just what it is.
Indiana's winning. Again, they're winning every game in front of them, but they're blowing teams out. Like these games aren't even competitive.
Yeah, other than Oregon.
Other than Oregon, and then
like
the Iowa game was competitive.
Well, Iowa always has a great defense.
But other than that, they're like these games. they beat Maryland
Mendoza
by 45.
I
Mendoza's
watched some of this
nice.
Indiana game. Fernando Mendoza I want him on a Cleveland uniform.
The funniest thing is when Mendoza. It's like the end of the game, and his little brother, who is the backup quarterback, comes in, and all the you'll get at least a few.
Did they even change it?
You'll get a few fans who tweet every single time, going, "Why is Mendoza still in?" And they just don't. They just don't look at the number.
Mendoza is in the game. It's
Mendoza is in the game. Yeah. Staying in the Big Ten, a big result. USC gets the win at Nebraska.
Nebraska is terrible.
I actually was surprised Nebraska lost this game. Not really surprised because Dylan Raiola broke his fibula in the game. Sadly, he's out for season, which means TJ Lateef from Compton, California, will be the starter for the rest of the year. And I actually like TJ Lateef more than I like Dylan Raiola. But if you look at the stat line for USC, you would be shocked that they won this game. But the fact that they were able to run for 202 yards on the ground. That's unacceptable for Nebraska to give that up, considering that was their brand for so long, is run the football, stop the run, stop the run and run the ball.
Yeah.
I feel bad for Emmett Johnson, the Nebraska running back. He is by far the best player on this team, and it's sad that he has insane stat lines almost every week and just gets sold out on poor coaching or poor quarterback play. And this comes in a bad week for Nebraska, where they just extended Matt Rule to 2032 amidst the Penn State rumors that were circulating. Although a lot of things have come out, and it sounds like Penn State might not have been as interested in him as people thought.
I wonder who they are interested in.
Yeah,
should hire Brian Kelly.
The coaching carousel in college, we talked about it last week, but Auburn just fired Hugh Freeze on Monday.
I did hear about that, yeah.
That was coming. When you have fans who stay after an hour after the game to boo you and chant for you to be fired, it's usually a sign that you're done. That was the same thing that happened to LSU with Brian Kelly. So, but outside of the coaching carousel, back to the Nebraska game, big win for USC because they have to fight the narrative every time of not being able to play in the Midwest, which is a bogus statement nowadays, considering how Nebraska, for instance, majority of their recruits.
Nebraska can't play in the Midwest.
Well, Nebraska, majority of their recruits are from Florida, Texas, or California, or Georgia.
Just where all the good players
So,
come from, yeah.
and it's Nebraska has made it very obvious that like they're not recruiting kids in the state. Right now there's a high school in Omaha that they haven't lost a game. I think their last 4 games they've won a combined 252-10 or something like that.
Goodness.
And their quarterback is going out to Alabama, and Nebraska has currently 0 of these kids signed to them.
That's
Iowa State
terrible.
even got a
Come on,
couple, and it just would have never happened years ago. But I've been on my Nebraska soapbox for too much. They were not the losers of the week. Iowa State was the big loser of the week, and Georgia Tech and Miami.
Tennessee probably got knocked out of the playoffs too, losing to Oklahoma.
Yes, yeah. We'll move on to the SEC, where that was kind of the big storyline for me, was that Oklahoma-Tennessee game. Tennessee's got some issues. I don't know if Josh Heupel is the guy long term, or if it's just a bad defense that they have this year. But I didn't think anything special of Oklahoma's offense prior to this game. And
then they look good. So
similar to Bengals and Cowboys defense, you can't be making offenses that look bad against every other team. They can't look good. It's a
I want to see
sure
Oklahoma's
sign.
rushing. What are Oklahoma's rushing stats in this game?
They had a lot.
Oh my!
192 yards. Yeah, John Matier ran for 80.
That's the one thing I've been harping on the Sooners for, was that John Matier was their leading rusher every game, and they couldn't run the ball. And then you have Xavier Robinson going 16 for 115 in a tutty, and then Matier himself 80 in a tutty on 16 rushes. I think this Blaylock guy was low key holding them back. I don't think he's that good.
Yeah.
But they keep running with that other dude. Might be better.
Another big result in the SEC. Vanderbilt loses to Texas. Texas kind of putting together a solid season, and they still find themselves with a chance to make the playoff. And if you really look at their schedule,
they had it pretty tough. Didn't they?
No, we were wrong. Texas plays A&M at the end of the season. I forgot Texas's other loss is Florida. That was the obvious one. But I mean, your losses being Ohio State and Florida, and I don't think Florida's a bad team. They're just not good. I mean,
they've also had a ridiculous Florida schedule. Was ridiculous. So
and I don't think people expected USF to be any good, but they were, obviously have had a good season. But Texas now finds himself in a good position.
I would take Georgia and A&M over Texas, though.
Oh, I mean, 100%. I'm taking Bama, A&M, Ole Miss. I mean, I'm taking Texas fifth
I'm
or
just
sixth.
looking at Texas' schedule because they have a bye week this week. November 15th, they play Georgia.
Oh yeah, they're losing to Georgia and they're losing to A&M.
I would take Arkansas. Just really sucks. So.
Arkansas. They're in the Auburn. Who cares about the season? We're just getting a new head coach.
Yeah.
But I think Arch he looks better. I would say he still got massively outplayed by Diego Pavia, despite winning the game. He did look looks very good. 25 of 33. 3 tutties, 328 yards. His mobility, I think, he just doesn't seem to be as much of the willingness to run as I think fans were expecting. Because I feel like his running got hyped up a lot because it was he's a Manning, but he can actually run. Unlike
and
Eli
if you watch
Peyton.
his high school highlight tapes, he's playing against JV teams.
I've decided I'm done caring about high school quarterback highlights because I've heard all the rumors that Arch was playing nobodies in high school.
I've seen there's a viral video.
Yeah, one viral video where
he runs out. A 5'2" goblin chasing.
Yeah, I mean,
that was really
who knows what's real anymore? But yeah, I'm not looking at high school tape anymore and giving it any validity
you can
for
just play anybody
football.
in high school.
Yeah, I mean, you can be from a small town and just play against scrubs who are just going to.
Future Walmart.
Yeah,
employees.
future Walmart employees. We did kind of mention Florida. They had a close one against Georgia, a spot that I actually really liked Florida to win. The Gators, they're keeping every game close and they're in every fight. They just don't have I mean, they need a new. Obviously, they're going to hire a new head coach this offseason, and they need to get that right because they're kind of sliding down a bad path. They haven't in the playoff era. They haven't really been a
top
competitive team
since
yeah.
Debo.
I mean, the SEC has really shifted in the playoff era to, LSU, Bama, Ole Miss, Georgia, kind of being the top dogs.
Yeah.
Obviously, Ole Miss hasn't made a playoff yet, but neither. Ole Miss, South Carolina have been a lot closer than Florida. So Florida definitely needs to get this coaching hire right. It just seems like every week there's new people that are the favorite to get these jobs. I think the biggest story will be if Lane Kiffin ever leaves Ole Miss. I mean, that's kind of what everyone's waiting on. It seems like.
I have like a love-hate relationship with Lane Kiffin. I think it's funny.
I love Lane.
He was crashing out all last season because Quinshon Judkins transferred to Ohio State, and like every week he was just saying some crap about the transfer portal. It's like, how about you just pay your star running back? Like, don't let him get yoinked. I love Quinshon Judkins even more. He's awesome for the Browns now. He's funny.
Yeah,
gotta love Lane.
He's a beast.
He says what's on his mind, and I think that's really funny.
He was at the Ohio State Penn State game.
Yeah.
They did like something with Quinshon Judkins for Big Noon Kickoff.
Yeah.
It was so funny how a bunch of different companies had at the beginning of the year signed on to do shows at the Penn State Ohio State game because they thought it was going to be like the game of the year.
Yeah.
It was so depressing, like just all these people like, oh yeah, Penn State, they might have a chance, and like they just had to like lie to all the fans just to try to sell it. I thought that was very funny.
Ohio State did have a kind of weird thing going on, where this game was supposed to be the blackout game, and I think I mentioned on the podcast. Yep. It was ironic doing it against the whiteout Penn State team, but they didn't wear the black jerseys. Now, I don't even really like their black jerseys, their blackouts, as much as their normal stuff. But apparently it was just the stadium blackout, but they didn't wear the blackout jerseys. Probably because it was during the day, because, of course, Ohio State versus UCLA in a couple of weeks is at night. But they never want to because they want to have Ohio State on Big Noon Kickoff all the time, and it's really annoying. But, yeah, just out of the blue, just no blackout jerseys during the blackout, and it was odd. But not that it mattered because we slaughtered them anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was odd.
I'm trying to see if any other games I want to talk about.
I got Purdue, Michigan, Sharon Moore. Honestly, Sharon Moore really makes me mad because, he beat Ohio State. He's not a good head coach, though.
No, he's not.
Beat Purdue by a whopping 5 points. He's holding back Captain Underpants, Bryce Underwood. Yeah, I think Bryce Underwood's better than what he can be. Yeah, he went 13-22 for 145, no tutties, and an interception versus Purdue, who's 2-7. And they only beat him by 5 points. Whether it's the program of Michigan, who notoriously hands off the ball 30 times a game, or if it's Sharon Moore himself, I think Bryce Underwood can be better than that. Hopefully he's not.
He's shown signs
for
of
Michigan.
It too.
Should have committed to LSU, Bryce. That's what I'm saying. You can chase the bag, though.
Yeah, I think he probably thought Nussmeier was going to be good and didn't want to imagine.
Yeah, but he's a true freshman though, so like, he had time. If Nussmeier's going to be gone after this year, he could just sit for a year.
He got a bag at Michigan.
Yeah,
too.
Michigan booster paid him like $10 to $12 million to come hand off the ball to their trash running backs.
Elite handoffer. It's kind of like being the
kind of like JJ McCarthy.
It's kind of like being the old like Titans quarterbacks when Derrick Henry was in his prime.
Derrick
like,
Henry and
just
Johnson.
A glorified hand the ball off to Derrick Henry.
What a beautiful handoff.
What a great handoffs Derrick Henry used to get on the Titans.
Ryan Tannehill.
Okay, but we will move right on to the NFL.
Yeah, real ones remember Ryan Tannehill.
The streets will never forget Dolphins Ryan Tannehill. Trust me on that. Madden 25. He was so nice. He had a card that was like a 94 rated. Anyway,
that's so trash.
I'll never forget that card till the day I die. One of my friends who will maybe listen to this, he'll know what card I'm talking about. So, yeah, NFL picks. I went 11-3 on the week.
Of course, the one time I have a good week, he just has to do one better. I went 10-4.
Cardinals,
my best record
baby.
so far.
Cardinals.
Dak, you're terrible. Got my
Cardinals saved me on that
Dak
one.
threw away his MVP case, losing at home to the Cardinals.
I mean, I think the team threw it away. I don't think he threw it away. He was never going to win.
Oh, I mean, like,
you have to be at least a 500 quarterback.
Yeah, being 3-5-1 now, he's not going to win it. He's still good, of course, but like, come on, man, it's the Cardinals at home.
But yeah, as we
we should start with the Thursday.
Yeah, as well. Well, we talked about
all the way on Monday. Sorry, I keep it.
Oh no, we didn't talk about the Thursday night game. We recorded on Thursday. Yeah, Ravens blew out the Dolphins. It was never close.
Yeah.
Lamar's back, and I would confidently put the Ravens as my favorite to come out of the AFC North, despite the Steelers having just beat the Colts.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a hot take.
Steelers obviously in the driver's seat, but they just had back-to-back.
They still have to play the Ravens twice, don't they?
I think so. Yeah, I don't think they've played yet.
I don't think so.
And one of those being in Acrisure Field. This is Mike Tomlin, Devil Magic Field. Yeah, they're gonna win that. But I think if the Steelers stumble, I think the Ravens can take the opportunity now.
I mean, yeah, I just think the Ravens have such a good chance. Oh my gosh, I'm getting blown up on Twitter. I think the Ravens defense is getting healthy now too, which is definitely helping them. That was their bigger issue than Lamar being out, was how hurt their defense was, and their defense looked really good against the Dolphins. That's not really saying a whole lot though. I know a lot of people were very angry Derrick Henry didn't get a touchdown. That was a huge thing on social media on Friday was him not scoring, but
maybe the secret was trading away Jair Alexander.
Maybe.
Even though he hadn't been playing at all.
You never know.
Whatever. Yeah, Ravens look dominant.
Yeah, Ravens look very good.
Dolphins are the Dolphins.
No truer words have ever been said. But yeah, Ravens.
Oh, I just remember now. Dolphins fired their GM after this game.
Really?
Yeah, Chris Greer. He was a long-time GM, apparently. I didn't realize how long he'd been there.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, so Mike McDaniel might be staying for the rest of the season, I guess, but he's probably gone. New GM's going to want to pick his own coach.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Ravens' schedule. I mean, they're 3-5 right now. Their next 4 games are at Minnesota, at Cleveland, home against Jets, home against Bengals, and then their 5th game would be home against the Steelers. 5 extremely winnable games. Their next 6 games, really, they could easily win all 6, and then their last 3 are the Patriots, Packers, Steelers to end the season. 2 on the road, 1 at home.
Hey, I got the Browns.
They have I would expect you to take the Browns. The game didn't look that good the first time you played.
I'll talk
them.
about the Browns in a minute. There's some news in the bye week for the Browns.
But yeah, I mean, I really like this Ravens team. They're so much. I like watching them because they. Maybe I'm just coping here, but they run a offense that reminds me of like when Iowa State's offense looks good. It's a lot of hand the ball off, 2 or 3 tight end sets.
Running.
The tight end room for the Ravens is the best in the NFL with likely Mark Andrews and Charlie Kohler. I can't really think of anyone off the top of my head that's better. But yeah, I like the Ravens to keep going. I'll probably be picking them every week in our picks until probably till the end of the season. So yeah, we'll move on to Sunday. We'll start.
We start with Colts Steelers because we mentioned that already.
Yeah, we'll start with Colts Steelers. Obviously, we already broke the big news that the Colts have traded 2 first-round picks to the Jets for Sauce Gardner. That's going to be the breaking news of the day of trade deadline.
Probably.
But the Steelers, looked very good in this game. Still offensively the most boring and frustrating team to watch. They don't throw the ball more than 5 yards down the field. But their defense played well again after the fans had a funeral for their. Did you see that? The fans had a funeral for their defense. That was hilarious.
Yes, the Steelers. I could hate rant all day. I've been making fun of the Steelers defense for being absolutely atrocious and losing a game that they definitely should not have lost versus the Bengals, because their defense played like garbage, and of course. In Mike Tomlin's House of Horrors, the Steelers' defense magically BS's to 6 turnovers over a historically dominant offense. Like, this team was literally putting up, they flashed it on the graphics, 2007 Patriots Colts offense numbers. And you walk into Acrisure and it falls apart. Daniel Jones looks like a New York Giants Daniel Jones. Jonathan Taylor didn't really get anything. I don't think he had a bad game, but he didn't really get anything going.
I was going to bring that up as my next point, was that the Steelers really focused on stop Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, that's
and they wanted to make Daniel
Jones,
make Daniel Jones beat you is what they were saying, and it worked out for them. Yeah,
it's just
so many turnovers.
It's just what the Steelers do. You know, they lost the game they should have. So now a game they never should have won. Boom, magic win.
Yeah,
I mean, frustrating. For me, because I don't like
3 interceptions and 3 fumbles for Daniel Jones, resulting in 5 turnovers.
Lock in.
Yeah, I mean, Daniel, lock the fuck in.
Turn in the
we don't like the Steelers on this podcast. We're not Steelers fans, so we need the Colts to.
I have a bunch of friends that are Steelers fans, and they really, really, really like to point out Ben Roethlisberger's record versus the Browns. And I'm just
love to point out the only record I like to point out with Ben Roethlisberger is his criminal record.
You know, there is a stat I do like about him, though. And I don't even
I thought you were about to pull up a criminal stat.
No.
Ben Roethlisberger with women.
No, not even. Well, I can't even say anything about that because Deshaun Watson broke all those records.
That's true.
But there's a stat. I just saw it randomly on Instagram one time. It was in games that take place directly after a live-action movie starring a live-action Spider-Man are released, Ben Roethlisberger is undefeated, 7-0. That happens.
That's a stat.
Yeah, that's a real thing. I remember that because he was playing since 2004, so that includes like the Tobey Maguire stuff, Andrew Garfield, and then like I think Avengers, the later Avengers movies were one of them. But yeah, that's just Ben Roethlisberger after a Spider-Man or live-action Spider-Man is just undefeated. It's so random. It's great. I love those kind of stats.
Yeah, I'm just looking at this box score. I mean, 342 yards passing for Daniel Jones, and he throws 3 picks. I mean, just if you're a Colts fan, you're saying to yourself that like this is the worst our team's gonna play all year.
You better hope so, yeah.
But I really do like the addition of Sauce Gardner for them. I know we kind of talked about this already, but
their defense is already good.
Their defense is already good.
Now you had an all-pro corner.
Yeah, him and Cam Bynum in the secondary. That's going to be
Kenny Moore. I like Kenny Moore too.
Yeah, I mean their defense is definitely good, and I think that's a very, very good trade for them, especially like come playoff time, having a lockdown corner to guard a wide receiver 1 in the AFC. Very, very beneficial to have someone like that. But I am worried about the trading 2 first-round picks because it's now. I don't know what picks they were. I don't know if it was this year. I haven't looked that far into the trade.
It's next year.
Okay. Well, then not as
That's
bad.
That's typically how it would be. Because this year their pick's going to be high.
Yeah, I'm kind of coming around. We'll talk about this when we get to the Packers game, but I'm kind of coming around to the Cowboys won that trade. For a similar reason, like if this really is just a Daniel Jones miracle run and it lasts only this year, and then next year the Colts go back to being bad, then that pick is a very good pick for the Jets. But I don't hate it for the Jets either. They kind of just need a restart.
Please trade Garrett Wilson to the Browns. Please.
They thought their defense was like their highlight going into the year.
Yeah, it's not played well.
It hasn't been good, obviously. I mean, they're not getting any help from any part of their team.
I wonder if Aaron Glenn goes 1 and done as a head coach.
I don't think so.
Because didn't Aaron Glenn not have a top 10 defense?
No, never.
Yeah.
Never had a top 10 defense.
I think he definitely got some help from Ben Johnson and Dan Campbell.
Dan Campbell but Dan Campbell. People need to owe Dan Campbell a lot of money.
Yeah.
For
Ben Johnson's been earning his rights and stuff. But,
Ben Johnson is the Bears fans love Ben Johnson. But yeah, we can unless you have anything else on the Colts game, we can jump right into the Bears game.
Yeah. The game of the week.
This game was so much fun to watch. I think I complained about it on the show last episode about how I was mad that this was the game I had to watch since I wanted to watch the Broncos game, but it's out of market.
Yeah.
Wow, what a treat to be able to watch this game. This is the ultimate crash out game if you're a Bengals player or fan.
Oh, yeah, Chase Brown, Jamar Chase.
They both, I mean, rightfully so, crashed out. But the Bears, I mean, Ben Johnson opened the bag of tricks today, or not today. He opened the bag of tricks on Sunday. Caleb Williams has 2 catches and 1 for a touchdown, which is wild. Colson Loveland finally plays well. All the fans were nervous because DeAndre Swift wasn't playing, but Kyle Monangai comes in, 26 carries, 176 yards. They've got a seriously good run game.
I made a big brain move. I picked him up and started him in fantasy because I've heard Ben Johnson came out and said he wants to replicate a David Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs type running game.
Yeah.
And DeAndre Swift is more of a Jahmyr Gibbs type. So Monangai is trying to be there.
He's a beast.
Yeah.
He's a beast. His runs, he does angry runs, which I love. In a game where Roma Dunze doesn't catch a pass, you wouldn't
also helped me in fantasy.
Maybe you wouldn't have expected the Bears to win that game, but that Colson Loveland touchdown at the end of the game.
Oh my gosh, how do you let that happen?
That's awful. Like that's really, really bad. Like there's no excuse for that happening.
Yeah, the end of this game was wild. The Bengals score, get an onside kick,
yeah, they recover an onside kick, which
it was 14 points in like 40 seconds.
It begs the question: should the Bengals onside kick every time?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
My friend who's a Cowboys fan, we debated this because he was suggesting that the Cowboys should start doing it. I don't think they're in as big of a problem as the Bengals.
Especially after trading for Logan Wilson.
But if you're the Bengals, you're 1-for-1 on onsides. If your defense consistently gives up 40 points a game, which they are doing right now.
Yeah, legitimately.
They've given up 47, 39, 33 in their last 3 games.
Dude.
They've also given up 37 to the Lions, 48 to the Vikings. I mean,
I think the Vikings game had defensive scores.
Lots of. That was Jake Browning's first start.
That was the Isaiah Rodgers game, yeah.
That was Jake Browning's first start of this season. That was his first start in the NFL. But I mean, the crash. Jamar, if you don't know what we're talking about, Jamar Chase and Chase Brown both in the locker room after the game had a lot of choice words to say about their defense.
Jamar Chase kind of kept it under wraps.
Jamar Chase
did better, but Chase Brown was like, one effing stop, man.
Yeah.
Just get a stop. Like,
just one fucking stop.
Which,
we just need one.
Chase Brown talking is kind of funny because he wasn't doing
he had
anything.
37 yards
until
rushing.
Joe Flacco showed up.
Yeah.
He was doing nothing.
He had a lot of receiving yards, and he does play well in the passing game for him.
But now that he has a few good games in a row.
Well, there's hot mics. There's hot mic clips going around of Jamar Chase on the sidelines being like they can't even get one stop, and it would be so.
I mean, he's got to be frustrated.
I'm gonna ask you this question too. I asked my friend, would it be more infuriating to be on the Bengals offense where you know you're going to lose the game, regardless if you play the best game of your entire life, you're going to lose the game, or would it be worse to be on Jets, Saints, Titans type of offense that just doesn't do anything? If you're a wide receiver, we'll say, if you're a Jamar Chase, would you rather be on a team that scores a lot and you play really well, or a team that
if you're gonna be a losing team, you might as well get a lot of stats. I think
that's what I would think. But
Jamar Chase has a Hall of Fame trajectory right now.
It's I would actually be on the side of I would rather be on just a shitty offense because. At least then, if I'm on the offense, I can be okay, we gotta play. There's stuff that we can do.
Something we could do better to help win games.
But if you're the Bengals offense, what do you say in practice? That is Joe Flacco had 1 turnover on a fumble.
Yeah,
that you can't give up one. You have to
score
flawless.
every single. You have to play Retro Bowl. You have to score every single drive, Retro Bowl on hard mode.
He had 2 picks as well. But I mean. 400
that's Flacco ball these days, though.
450 yards passing, which he got sacked 3 times, so it was really 470. That should be enough to win in the NFL.
T. Higgins had a fantastic game.
T. Higgins is a beast.
Yeah.
I was talking hella shit about T. Higgins. Not about him, because I think he's a good wide receiver, but mostly about the Bengals front office
paying him
for
other
paying
than
him.
defensive players. He could have gone somewhere else and balled out too, though. He's a good player.
He's very good, but he is associated with the part of the Bengals that is the problem, and that is their cap.
Yes.
I mean, their money. They have 5 players. They only have 5 players who make above $10 million. It's Orlando Brown, T. Higgins,
Orlando Brown sucks.
Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow, and Trey Hendrickson.
Myles Garrett's son.
And the gap from Orlando Brown to the next highest paid player is double their salary. So I think Orlando's at like 16 and the next is $8 million. They just traded Logan Wilson to the Cowboys for a 7th round pick.
And Trey Hendrickson's gone after this year.
Trey Hendrickson might be gone this year. Like
he could still get traded in the next hour or so, yeah.
I was surprised that when I saw Bengals traded, I was expecting it to say Trey Hendrickson.
Yeah, I figured.
I mean, if
I don't think any team wants to give up draft capital for a player that they know is going to be a free agent next year and say, like, hey, come sign with us instead of having to give up, even if it is just like I think Trey Hendrickson can command a 3rd even, or maybe a 4th.
More than
that good a player.
I think Trey Hendrickson, if Sauce Gardner is 2 first-round picks, Trey Hendrickson's at
true.
least a first-round pick.
But
at least like one in like a 2nd and a 3rd.
But yeah, if you're a team, unless you're like a super competitive team that wants that extra piece, kind of like the Colts getting Sauce Gardner, I think like we can give up a 1st for this guy and have him for an extra 9 games left in the season. Or we can get him for free, or not for free draft.
Max Crosby is the DN that people are trying to trade for.
Yeah, but
he's got a longer deal, so he can be locked down.
He likes to be in Las Vegas for some reason.
Which is so weird to me. Like it makes. I
like to be in Vegas. Vegas is cool.
Browns made a trade.
Oh no.
Browns traded DN
Joe Troyan Shorenka.
And a 7th round pick to the Bears in exchange for a 6th round pick.
Oh, and so Chicago lost.
Oh yeah.
Who is that? It's a random guy. Okay. Yeah, he kind of sucks. That's okay.
That's not a moval.
That's not
a needle
player.
mover.
I was kind of worried you're about to start talking about Myles Garrett. And I was like, please shut up. Don't talk about that. But I think the main rumor about him was the Eagles, but the Eagles traded for Phillips from the Dolphins, so I think Myles Garrett's safe and sound in Cleveland Town.
The Sauce Gardner deal gets better. The Jets will also receive wide receiver A.D. Mitchell, who, if you're unfamiliar with, is the wide receiver that dropped the ball.
Out the end zone, yeah,
he dropped the ball at the 1-yard line earlier this year.
A.D. Mitchell, that's good for the Jets though, because I feel like Garrett Wilson's the only impact wide receiver they have. I like Mitchell he is the actually score the touchdown. But on that play, people forget he made a fantastic catch. It was like a one-handed 360 spin catch while being draped all over by the DB. Like, yeah, it was a great catch. He just needs to not drop the ball before the end zone.
Yeah. So we were talking about the Bears-Bengals. Okay, yeah. So we'll move on to the Broncos-Texans. The
opposite game of Browns Bengals Bears.
Yeah, that's great to follow it up with. Big dubs for the Broncos, and now they're starting to compare Bo Nix to Tim Tebow, but better than Tim Tebow. Like, plays bad in the first half.
Yeah.
Fourth quarter comes around. He's like, oh, I'm Tim Tebow. Or in this case, I'm Bo Nix.
Oh yeah, I can play football.
Yeah, I'm very good at football. But the Broncos defense continues to be amazing. They did exactly kind of what we said they would. They put pressure on C.J. Stroud.
Went out
and then he gets hurt. Davis Mills comes in.
David Mills sucks. Really
and once Davis Mills came in, I don't think anybody was worried about the outcome of the game. Broncos got 4 sacks on the game. Didn't generate a pick. I really thought they would. But I walked away being very happy about the win. The Texans have a very good defense.
Shout out Kami Fairbairn, fantasy. It's got to be one of the best fantasy kickers in the league because the Texans cannot score.
Yeah, him and Chris
Chris
Boswell.
Like 19 something points because he kicked the long field goals all game.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'll just keep taking it. Feed me.
Yeah. One other thing about this game I did want to point out is I kind of mentioned it last podcast, I think. R.J. Harvey really starting to come in to his own as a player. Had 5 catches for 51 yards and a touchdown. Only got 2 carries rushing, but
I think the Broncos are also trying to do a 2 running back system. Like Dobbins will probably be the main running guy, but Harvey's more explosive. I think he's ready.
Harvey is very, very good in the passing game.
Yeah.
I think that's where they were trying to use him. I was very sad to see both wide receivers that I thought the Broncos were going to trade for. Both went to other teams. That's Jacoby Myers going to the Jaguars from the Raiders, and then Rashid Shaheed going from the Saints to the Seahawks. I really thought the Broncos were going to be all in on one of those 2 players, which is kind of unfortunate. I don't know what I think the Broncos need to go out and make some move on offense. I think right now you can't look at the Broncos offense and
think
say,
that's good enough to go far in the playoffs.
Well, you can't look at it and go, okay, that's a good enough offense to beat, to confidently beat the Patriots, Colts, Bills, or Chiefs, and they'll get their test against the Chiefs to see whether or not they are, what caliber of team they are.
Trade deadline's in 2 hours, though, so they got to make a decision quick.
Yeah, I mean, I'm literally just refreshing Adam Schefter's Twitter page to find out if the Broncos are going to do something. But yeah, like I said, very, very happy overall with the win for the Broncos. We can move right on. We can give a 15-second game recap of the Chargers-Titans.
It's the Titans.
The Titans are very bad, and the Chargers are
competitive in the first half, though.
The Chargers are very mid, and Joe Alt is injured again.
Carved off the field, probably done for the season.
And done for the year, and that means that the Chargers do not have a chance to win the AFC West because the
Broncos or Chiefs.
The Broncos and Chiefs pass rush units are too good for Joe Alt to miss. Unfortunately, I think this might be the nail in the coffin for the Chargers.
They're just a competitive team. They're just not going anywhere.
Yeah. Herbert, he's trying to do it all. Respect. At the end of the day, if you're Justin Herbert and you're dating Madison Beer, it's not a bad day.
Oh, I'm 6'6". I make $200 million, and I'm dating Madison Beer.
I'm the starting quarterback for a team in LA. Oh, I'm dating Madison Beer.
We get it, bro.
I'm literally the perfect male human being.
We get it.
Okay, yeah, cool. I get it. Yep. You went to Oregon. Cool. I bet you got a lot of cool jerseys there. Whatever. Okay, moving on. Vikings-Lions. J.J. McCarthy back in the win column.
Oh, and he looks good. We'll do boil milk later, but I will speak about J.J. McCarthy.
Yeah, we'll have Luke save his J.J. McCarthy opinions for later on in the show when we do a different segment.
Yep.
But yeah, that's
Aaron Jones
multiple
also
games
returning.
Multiple games for the Lions now this year where they just haven't looked like themselves. They couldn't really get the ball.
Their O-line was trash in this game.
They couldn't run the ball. They couldn't protect Jared. 5 sacks. Only ran the ball for 65 yards.
1 tutty.
Sam Laporta did have a very good game. But yeah, J.J. McCarthy, he doesn't blow up the stat sheet by any means, but he manages the game well enough. He can get out of the pocket. He did get sacked 5 times as well.
He threw a couple dimes to Justin.
But yeah, his good throws do look very good, and it definitely helps having Jordan Addison and Justin Jefferson as your 2 wide receivers.
Still there too, yeah. And Aaron Jones.
I don't know what's Hawkinson got a touchdown, but he's just not
getting the ball.
Yeah, he went from top 3 tight end in the NFL to he never touches the ball anymore.
I think he still has that talent. He's just not getting the ball thrown as well.
He definitely still has that talent. I just don't know.
Yeah.
What's going on?
I heard the trade rumors with him too, but it's getting about that time.
Yeah, I thought the Vikings were going to be selling. But
I think after this win with McCarthy, they're like, ooh.
Because they're in a tough division.
Best division in the league, probably. NFC North. I think so.
Yeah.
Well, Packers losing to the stinking Panthers doesn't help that. Theoretically, they're the best division in the NFL, but the Packers have to play.
Yeah, football. we can move on to the Packers game. I don't really have a lot on the Lions Vikings. I know that you're going to get into it more.
I'll speak about it later.
So yeah, we can move on to the Panthers Packers, and I mentioned this a little earlier. The Packers losing Tucker Kraft in this game. He's out for season now.
That's probably worse than just losing the game.
Honestly, he is there. In the passing game, he bails them out so many times. Jordan Love's like second favorite target, probably behind Romeo Dobbs. This is a big, big loss for the Packers. Not just the game, but losing Tucker Kraft. The Packers have 5 wins, right? 2 losses, 1 draw. Their losses are against the Browns and Panthers, and they tied against the Cowboys. That's there's something not right with that.
One of the YouTubers / podcasters I follow is a Packers guy, and there's a big issue, especially this season, with Matt LaFleur and playing down the competition. You see it with losing to Panthers and the Browns. I still like the Leafs.
I mean, yeah.
People are saying to fire LaFleur. That's not going to happen. He's one of the best coaches in the league. Top 10, I'd say at least. But, yeah, they have an issue with playing down the bad opponents. And those weeks where they dominated the Lions and Commanders are looking further and further. Micah Parsons, first time in his career, 0 pressures. Nothing for Micah.
Yeah, I mean, the Panthers played it very smart. They just ran the ball. They killed the clock. And a turnover and a missed field goal is pretty much the difference for the Packers. Just a weird game. Very boring to watch. But if you're a Rico Dowdell fantasy owner, you were probably loving that game.
Yeah, I'm a Chuba Hubbard fantasy owner, and I'm not happy to drop Chuba because they kind of realize Rico's far and away better. And
Rico's nice.
He's going to get more carries now. The Packers might have the most dramatic kicking situation in the league right now because McManus is their starting kicker. He missed a couple weeks with an injury, and they got this guy who was like a substitute teacher to come and kick, and I think he missed 1. That or he was perfect in his couple games. McManus returned last week before the Panthers game, and he missed like a couple kicks, and then he missed another kick in the Panthers game. So like maybe the substitute teacher comes back as like check, something like that.
Lucas Haversick.
Yeah.
And he made a 61-yarder against Arizona.
It was a Packers franchise record.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of, actually, we can get this in a second. Disregard that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, kicking records. We'll talk about kicking records in a minute.
Yeah, that just sprung to me. But very, very bad loss for the Packers, like I said, and the Cowboys have got to just be on cloud 9 that it's seeming like it might fall apart for the Packers, and I really think it will. For some reason, my brain is telling me that Bears, Lions are going to be the 2 teams that make the playoffs out of the NFC North. I don't know.
Packers lock in, they can still make it. They're 5-2-1.
I just think that this Tucker Kraft injury is really going to set him back because he was playing like the best tight end in the NFL. He's definitely a top 3, but this year he was definitely playing as the number 1. Tough loss, not only the game, but to lose Tucker Kraft. So we'll have to see how they bounce back next week. But Patriots, Falcons, a very close game. Did not see this one turning out this way. Falcons get 9 points in the fourth quarter to make it a contest. Seemed like the Patriots are going to throw it away at times in that fourth quarter.
Missed extra points. That's the Atlanta Falcons.
Yep. Yeah, the Falcons are frauds. That's what happened.
I don't even know if they were ever contenders. They beat the Bills at one time, I guess.
I can't believe that they would drop the best kicker in the world for this bum. It's a disservice. Isn't that 2 kickers now that the Falcons have dropped in like back-to-back year?
No, they had Younghoe Koo for a while. He was their franchise kicker for
I don't know. They shouldn't have dropped Younghoe Koo. The fans miss him.
He was bad this year.
It's a disservice to Younghoe.
Yeah, but the Romo dude they got now, he was good for a while, but he just massive choke
I don't
job.
know. Guys with the name Romo in the NFL don't
Something
entertain
about choking,
me.
being Romo and choking.
Yeah, something about it. There's just something about Romo.
Did you watch any of the 49ers Giants game?
No.
Yeah, let's say I had Red Zone on, and the score was 34-24, but I feel like this game wasn't played. It's just not real. I didn't see it. I didn't see a single second. I had no idea.
I was checking box scores, and really the theme of the day for the 49ers was just Christian McCaffrey is the best player in the NFL.
As it should be.
Let's show it. We don't need Mac Jones to do all that. Although Mac Jones, very, very good game. But Christian McCaffrey is just insane. Whenever people doubt him, he just plays better. He's so good. Every single time he touches the ball, he feels like he has a chance to score. Had 2 touchdowns on the game, 1 receiving, 1 rushing, almost 175 all-purpose yards. He's doing it. And I want Brock to return, so I don't know what's going on there with that injury. Hopefully everything turns out okay for him. But, yeah, the Giants, they're going to suck for the rest of the year.
Probably.
But at least
I think they should just regroup with Scatterboo and Neighbors next year. Draft some linemen, shore up the defensive secondary.
I think they could trade one of these D linemen for some picks because they're kind of
just
just
They have like a lot of
They're
them.
sitting on a lot of D linemen.
I think it'd be Thibodeau. I think Thibodeau's the odd man out.
Yeah, they definitely would not get rid of Dexter Lawrence.
Or
Or
Brian
Abdul.
Burns. Brian Burns is tied for the
And-
league. No, I think he is the lead leader in sacks with 11.
Yeah, he is.
Miles Garrett 10.
Because he had that.
Because
he had
Miles
the-
Garrett didn't play.
Brian Burns had the crash out in the tunnel after the Broncos game, where he was
Oh yeah, because he was pissed that they lost.
mega
Yeah.
crash out.
I would be too. You allowed 33 points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, that was bad. But yeah, the Giants are just stacking D linemen. I was kind of surprised that they haven't unloaded anybody because their defense still gave up 34 points to the 49ers.
They need to shore up their secondary. Yeah, they
Yeah.
traded Xavier McKinney a couple of years ago to the Packers. That was not good.
Yeah, it's like I hear so many offensive linemen say how hard it is to block Dexter Lawrence,
Oh yeah.
and then the
he's-
Giants just don't put
legit.
anything behind him to help out.
Yeah.
They're
Him and Burns and Abdul Carter.
yeah. At least the fun storyline to watch is that Brian Dable is literally in love with Jackson Dart for saving his job,
actually.
and honestly, very smart by Dable to just attach himself at the hip to Jackson Dart and be like, okay, well, everyone likes Jackson. Hey, look at me, I'm
Well,
right
because
here.
that was Dayball's whole job. Because Dayball developed Josh Allen in Buffalo,
Yeah,
and so now he's like, oh, I got a quarterback. I'm gonna do it. I don't have to play with Russell Wilson anymore. Like,
yeah. I don't know how many years Dable has though. I think now that you have the quarterback that you like.
I think they have to at least wait to see how a year of Dart, Scatterboo, Neighbors goes on offense.
That'd be
And then they got to shore up the defense and O-line. They need O-line. Their O-line has been terrible for years. They need to do something about it.
Yeah, I mean obviously, but I just don't know what realistically they're going to do or what they can do.
I mean, it's also the Giants, so they make bad decisions sometimes.
And they're in a, I mean, their division's not going to get any easier.
For sure.
I don't see that.
Dallas is going to add defense.
Washington's going to rebuild their whole defense, I would assume.
And the Eagles might repeat as Super Bowl champs.
Yeah, the Eagles are just very, very good.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like in that division, it's kind of like what the AFC West has to go through with the Chiefs. It's like if you can't field a team that's better than the Eagles, why
bother?
Like, not why bother, because you can obviously still make wild card and there's other things to play for. And that division
Right.
has gotten multiple teams into the playoffs multiple years in a row now.
I think so, yeah.
Because last year Commanders, Eagles, and then Cowboys, Eagles made it, and
Mhm.
the Giants even made it that one year with Daniel Jones. But
Danny Diapers.
yeah, I don't know. I'm not a huge believer in Dable as a head coach. I think he could go back to being a good OC somewhere, kind of like what I expect to happen to Mike McDaniel for the Dolphins.
Probably. Take him right down in Cleveland.
Yeah, the Giants are without Scatterbo or Malik Neighbors. Their offense is not the greatest thing in the world to watch, but luckily for me, I did pick up Theo Johnson.
Yeah.
It's fun to watch Wan'Dale
He's
Robinson play. He
I've picked him up and dropped him in fantasy 2 times now. Every time I have him, he sucks, and then he has a big game. I was like, I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid anymore on Wandale.
Wan'Dale Robinson was at Nebraska for a couple years and then transferred to Kentucky, but I liked the way that he played. It was always fun to watch. But
Saints Rams, we could get a quick old explanation.
Yeah,
over.
Saints Rams good team, Saints bad team.
Puka gets hurt again. That's what you got to watch out for. But I think Devontae Adams makes Hall of Fame. He's got 100+ touchdown receptions.
Matthew
in his career.
Stafford
He's
too.
still cooking at 30+. Matthew Stafford's a Hall of Famer too. Yeah.
And Sean McVay is probably a top 3 head coach in the NFL,
Yeah,
if not
he's-
number 1.
Yeah, I think he was one of the youngest coaches to win a Super Bowl.
I think he was the youngest.
Probably. He was like low 40 something.
Yeah, and him and Kyle Shanahan, I always give the most credit for being Kyle Shanahan this year especially.
Oh, for sure.
To be
Him
6
and
and 3,
Robert Saleh.
to be 6 and 3 with Mac Jones as your quarterback for
Yeah.
like majority of those games.
Kittle missed the majority of games. Ayuk
Yeah.
hasn't played a snap. Jennings was on and off.
Yeah.
Pearsall on and off injured. Like, it's insane what he's been able to do.
Yeah, Sean McVay, similar vibes. Like, Puka's been out at times. They've had different injuries on defense, and the Rams.
Matthew Stafford started the year kind of banged up.
Yeah, they're very good. I really like the Rams actually to come out of the NFC for the Super Bowl.
It's them or Seahawks for the NFC West. I think the Seahawks are for real.
Yeah, I think both teams are for real. I trust the Rams more because they have the history and they have a quarterback who's won.
That's true.
And it'll always be Darnold.
Darnold did choke last year.
The last two games of the year, the last regular season game and the playoff game against the Rams. But it'll be interesting for sure. I believe both teams will make the playoffs, so could get a good game out of them in the playoffs. But did somebody just fall?
I don't know.
I heard a noise.
Yeah, I did hear you.
But yeah, we can move on. I don't really have much to say about the Saints. They're
bad.
They're selling. Rashid Shaheed went to the Seahawks. That's kind of their big news.
Kamara and Demario Davis should also be gone, but they're probably not going to. I think Kamara wants to stay.
Their whole team could be gone.
Orleans.
I feel bad for Chris Olave. He
I want him on the Browns, but they're probably not going to get traded.
I think
he's still on a rookie contract. So.
I wanted the Broncos to trade for him. That was really the one I wanted.
Yeah, I don't think he's not on a second deal yet though. So he's cheap. Might as well.
I really wanted to wake up this morning and be like, "Oh, the Broncos have traded for Chris Olave," but the Saints said that they weren't trading him. So
yeah, I kind of want Garrett Wilson from the Jets too. Just those Ohio State guys.
Yeah, the wide receiver market's insane right now. But moving on, we've got Chiefs at Bills. Great game.
It's pretty much the average Chiefs-Bills regular season game.
Yeah, it kind of is. Bills by one score.
Good
game didn't look as close as a one-score game. I thought the Bills played way better than the Chiefs.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely deserved to win that game. And as I said in the predictions, it's in the regular season, the Bills, they don't lose to the Chiefs.
Oh, yeah.
It's their Super Bowl.
I do have a little note. First-round pick for the Bills, Maxwell Hairston, corner, played his second game. He debuted last week. I think he was recovering from an injury. He looked great. He had the speed to keep up with Xavier Worthy. And Xavier Worthy, of course, NFL record, 40-yard dash in the combine. One of the fastest players. So, yeah, he's played well, and he's got the speed. That could be a big boost to the Bills' defense.
Yeah. The Bills, that's where they've got to look because I think Josh Allen, he can do it with anybody on offense.
I'd still like that. And see add another pass catcher.
They definitely needed to. And
Kincaid is.
I'm sure that they were in the market for Rashid Shaheed, but they just
probably
because I think it was Seahawks, Jaguars, Patriots, Bills, and Broncos that were all in the market for wide receivers. Obviously, the Seahawks and Jaguars.
The Browns would be if they're smart, but maybe we're just not buying.
I don't think they're. Why would you buy right now if you're the Browns?
We bought somebody. I forget who it was. We traded for somebody.
Anyway, speaking of the Jaguars, I wouldn't say big win, but an overtime win where they could have lost on a 2-point conversion.
Yeah, it's the Brock Bowers game.
Yeah, Brock Bowers was back.
Some idiot in my fantasy league dropped him while he was hurt. I don't know if he thought he was out the whole year. I scooped him up, stashed him, started him this week. 43. He had like 100+ yards and 3 touchdowns. Oh, man.
That's brutal.
Yeah.
That's brutal.
I was like, you're stupid. Boy.
Yeah, and Jaguars, really the only piece I have on this game is Cam Little broke the record for the longest kick in NFL history,
yeah.
68-yarder.
In which he hit the 70-year in the preseason, but that doesn't count.
Yeah, and that ball looked good from 75.
Probably, and it was outdoors too.
Yeah.
Justin Tucker, of course, the previous record holder.
But these new footballs, I don't know. That's what's allowing them to kick it so far. Is
really?
It's like the K balls, or whatever it is. There's the other.
I don't care.
They're messing with the football to kick it farther.
Tom Brady,
but I love it. I think it's hilarious thinking of imagining so if Cam Little can consistently hit a 68-yarder, right? You could get a touchback at the 35 and get 2 first downs.
Kick a field
or
goal,
not even 2.
3 points.
You could get a first down and then 8 yards on the second set of downs, and you're in field goal range.
Yep, 3 points.
I think that's hilarious. That's a funny concept.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else in this game? Geno looked okay, actually.
Yeah, he didn't play terribly. He got his pass comically batted down on the 2-point conversion.
Yeah, I mean, the guy was wide open,
That's
too.
pretty funny.
There's no one around him.
He kind of sucks, but
yeah,
it's the Raiders.
His quotes are hilarious, though. Similar to, like, Jameis, I need him in the league just for quotes. I just need him. The write me off one that's gold. Like, they wrote me off. I ain't right back.
I ain't right back though.
Okay, we'll move on. Wow, we've been recording for a minute. Sunday Night Football: Seahawks at Commanders. Headline: Jaden Daniels breaks his arm, out for season. Obviously,
yeah, that was pretty gruesome.
It was gross, and
yeah, and then they had to play in slow motion 4 times to make sure you really, really saw it in case you missed it.
I don't understand that culture.
It's so dumb.
Well,
they've been toning it down now though, because when Nick Chubb got attacked by Minkah Fitzpatrick, they didn't show it. There's a couple other ones they didn't show.
But I remember, like, in basketball, like the Paul George one, the Kevin Ware in the NCAA tournament, like all these, I hate it. Like, I don't know if I used to have like a strong stomach when I was younger. But now I get like a little lightheaded and a little woozy at like watching that stuff. I don't know if it means I'm soft now or what it is, but it was gross to look at that. I just saw like that still image of his arm and his elbow was bending I can't even think about it. It's not gross to think about.
Also, Marshawn Lattimore, ACL, he's done for the season. And Luke McCaffrey broke his collarbone.
Lattimore
so
was not
everybody
good.
on the Commanders is injured.
And Darnold had a baller game.
Oh, no incompletions in the first half. Him and JSN are carrying one of my fantasy teams. They're awesome. I just don't want Shaheed to take some of that. I might see if Shaheed's on waivers.
He probably is.
Yeah, I might have to slide in, just have the whole Seahawks offense. It's all Seahawks passing game on my team.
Yeah, that's not a horrible idea.
If I'm the Commanders,
tank.
Yeah, not even. I don't even think they have to. Everybody's hurt. They just are down there. They're crappy players. It reminds me of the Bengals when Burrow got hurt. It landed them Jamar Chase, and now, I mean, we see how that's gone since they did go to the Super Bowl though. So like, you have this newfound core of young players that can carry you. Oh no, he got hurt. Let's go get another great player in the draft to add and see if we can do something.
Mm-hmm. What do you think about them not pulling Jaden Daniels that late into the game?
Oh man, that's tough because like. The podcast I watched was talking about this. Like, you rarely ever want to give the notion of giving up in a game because, like, that's your job is to go out and win these games. So you're just going to be like, oh, well, we lost. We give up. But it was, like, really, really
I mean, they're
late.
down by 20.
It was kind of what
by 20 plus.
When the Browns pulled Myles Garrett late in the Patriots game, he crashed down the sidelines because he wanted to play. I guess the Browns aren't afraid of giving up. We've been giving up for 25 years. But, yeah, I guess they wanted – I mean, it's also the player's job. When you are an NFL player, you're expect to play the whole game if you're a starter.
I mean,
especially a star quarterback.
I'm kind of on the side of, like, you need to protect your investments.
That's also true.
At some point, especially your quarterback, you need to say, okay, like your offensive line, or like your offensive line or your defensive line. I can see like keeping them in because. If you put in backups, things can just go really wrong if they're not ready.
Yeah.
But when you have a backup in Mariota that the Commanders have, who's one of, I would say, the top 5 to 6 backup QBs in the NFL, to not put him in when your team's down 20, they were down like 27 or something.
It was bad. The game was decided.
The game was over. Like, there was no chance the Commanders were coming back. They hadn't done anything all game. It made no. I mean, I do see it though. It's like, yeah, he's a pro athlete. He needs to play the whole game. But I mean, this is what they do in basketball. You would if a team was up 25-30 at the end of the game, you would never see like LeBron still playing like that. Yeah. Unless it was like to go for a stat or to go for like a record. No. But so I'm indifferent on it really, but just some food for thought. We'll move on. Last game, Monday Night Football, Cardinals at Cowboys. Big win for the Cardinals. Cowboys defense is absolute garbage. So bad. I believe that there would genuinely, if you put a a bottom 5 O-line, a bottom 5 NFL QB, you could there's 15 to 20 college receivers who could have 100 yards against the Cowboys.
There's a clip of DeRon Bland got pieced up by Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah, I mean, and Marvin Harrison Jr. has not looked good this year.
Yeah, I think, people are starting to say it's a Kyler Murray thing because Jacoby Brissett playing, Marvin Harrison Jr.'s looked better.
And I think they announced that they plan on starting Jacoby Brissett for the rest of the year.
I haven't heard that, but I heard that Kyler Murray was healthy enough to play last night. And he said that he might have a role as like a gadget player, but he did not play. We got no trade?
No, I think Schefter tweeted that it was the booth. The Troy Aikman and Joe Buck said that they expect the Cardinals to stick with Jacoby Brissett.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if that was like
that's
official.
not a team official thing.
Yeah.
They should if they're smart.
They should.
If they want to win. If they want to win though. Like they're already 3-5, they might be like, let's just lose and get a high draft pick again.
Yeah.
'Cause that's what the Cardinals have been doing since their inception. They've never been good. Other than
Kurt Warner.
Outside the Kurt Warner years.
Larry
actually have
Fitzgerald.
never been good.
Ever since Larry retired, man. I love Larry Fitzgerald. But yeah, that's going to do it for NFL and football really football talk really for the most part. We got Boils My Milk segment up next. Tune in. Breaking news while we're in a segue here. Just taking a little break. The Dallas Cowboys have traded for Quinnen Williams from the New York Jets. Jets officially fire sailing their team. Dallas sent a 2026 first round pick and some more.
The Jets might not win another game. The Jets might not win another game.
I don't think they want to win another game.
That's true too. You got a QB of the future in mind though, if you want to have the first overall pick in this draft. I mean, you got Mendoza. If the Jets take Mendoza from me, I swear to you. I think the Browns pick is going to be too high. We have easy games left on our schedule.
Yeah,
we are an easy game.
The Jets in like the span of an hour.
Oh yeah, their two best defensive players gone.
Acquired multiple first round picks and traded their two best defensive players.
They just gonna have the entire first round.
I mean,
the first, second, third, and fourth, and
to
fifth pick.
Get
the
it.
Jets select.
That's something that I don't agree with the Cowboys on.
First round for Quinnen Williams.
Because these two players are not guaranteed to fix their problems. So if they don't, that's a valuable first round pick if they don't make the playoffs.
Yeah.
But with the Giants and Commanders being bad, they do have a good chance. So we'll see. But that was a breaking news segment that brought to you by Peanut Butter M&Ms. Welcome back. It's another segment of Boils My Milk. We'll start with you, Luke. What's got your milk boiling this week?
My boiling milk is 100% biased, but that is in the little slightly run biased hot takes. I despise J.J. McCarthy. I can't stand that dude. He acts all, I'm big and tall. I beat Ohio State because I was cheating. And he got carried by his defense and Blake Corum while he was there. I feel like I'm being mean. I don't even care. He looks like somebody I'd see at my local high school, and I just want to punch him in the face. Gosh, he's so annoying. And while he was, I don't even know if he was actually shadow benched at this point because he played well versus the Lions. But whatever was going on, I was happy while he was not playing. Because one of my favorite non-Browns players is Justin Jefferson. But now one of my least favorite players has to be throwing to him. Excuse me. And of course he played well, beat the Lions, even though the Vikings defense really helped with that. But he threw some nice passes and he had good stats to beat the Lions, and he makes me unfathomably angry. And that's all I'm going to say. I'm done.
Elite. I'll go next, and in similar fashion, I also hate somebody who lives in the upper north of America currently. I hate Miles Turner. This bum has the audacity after a finals run with the Pacers, 10 years with the team, and then he comes out, talks a whole lot of shit about Tyrese, a whole lot of shit about the team, and then he expects anything else other than to get booed when he goes back. This was last night. The Pacers played against the Bucks. Miles Turner's first game back in Indiana since leaving. And then he had the audacity after the game to tweet, 10 years of blood, sweat, sacrifice, and constantly taking the disdain on the chin. I guess growth isn't always applauded. Sometimes it's booed, but I'm still grateful, still rising. He also, on his Instagram story, posted a picture of a Pacer car, like
with the car,
yeah, like a crashed Pacer car.
Did the Bucks win or did the Pacers win?
The Bucks won by 2.
Well, Tyrese is
against
playing,
an awful Pacers team that were not good this year. But Miles, you were never good. You were never once. Maybe for like a season you were the best player on the team, but you were never the guy on the team. I defended you playing with Legos for years. For years, I had to defend you playing with Legos, and it's not building Legos. You play with Legos. You don't build them. You play with them.
Grown man.
You are a grown man playing with Legos. I don't care anymore. You're not anything that the fan base wanted or wants anymore. Other Pacers players have left in the past and left with grace, like Paul George, still liked in Indianapolis by majority of people, because he never bashed the team, and he always talks good about the organization. And for you to join the team that the Pacers players and fans hate the most is crazy to me. I mean, have fun. Congratulations on getting a bag from Milwaukee. It's your last paycheck. Your time after this contract is over. When the Pacers lost to the Heat in the bubble playoffs, I said it. I ranted then that the Pacers needed to get rid of you. They didn't. I stood by you for 5 more years. You got me nothing. Never showed up in the playoffs. You missed every 3. Don't grab rebounds. I'm done with you. Congratulations. Have fun going to the second round of the playoffs with the Bucks.
And losing to the Cavs.
Yeah, and lose. I hope the Cavs sweep you.
I also don't like him because he played for the Pacers team that beat the Cavs in the playoffs last year.
That's fair enough. You know what? I hope that the Cavs beat you and Donovan Mitchell dunks on you 10 times in a row because, oh my gosh, you can block the ball.
Oh, yeah. Donovan
That's
Mitchell
all you're good for, Miles. All. But that's all I have for Boils My Milk. I do want to segue quickly from that to college basketball starting last night. This is the last thing that we'll talk about today. There's 2 teams that I want to congratulations say that your season is already over, and that would be Boston College, who lost by 5 to Florida Atlantic University, and the other one would be TCU, who lost by 4 to New Orleans. Not the Pelicans, as in New Orleans College.
Okay, I never heard of that place.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect you to have heard of them.
I don't watch a lot of college basketball, to be fair, though. As an Ohio State fan.
The Boston College loss isn't like the worst thing in the world.
You've at least heard of Florida Atlantic.
Yeah,
though. Yeah.
Because of their success in the tournament, they've had some runs. Some may say, but if you are TCU, your season ended on the day that the season started. So that's honestly, I would say, more so impressive than anything else. No shame there. Another one actually, Hawaii Pacific beat Boise State. I saw a TikTok about that today from 2 of the players on Hawaii Pacific. So shout out to Hawaii Pacific on winning that game. But other than that, college basketball is back in full swing. Cyclones to the Final Four this year. It's happening. And Pacers will be getting the number 1 pick in the draft. And I will be watching every single BYU game for scouting. That is all I have on college basketball at the moment.
I'll be rooting for the one weird Cinderella story that ever happens because Ohio State's not making the tournament. Our basketball sucks.
A great offense for Ohio State.
Really?
Yeah, they put up 118 last night, but gave up 102 to Indiana University, Indianapolis.
Oh, okay, yeah. So
yeah,
that's not the Hoosiers.
No.
Okay.
Not a good team.
Okay.
But you scored 118 points.
I don't watch the basketball. I just know Ohio State's basketball is never really that good.
When they had D'Angelo Russell, they used to be really, really good.
I was probably not.
When I was growing up, they were always good with Aaron Kraft, Greg Oden, D'Angelo Russell.
Oh, I forgot about Greg Oden. Yeah. I never watched him. I'm probably
You would have been
I'm too young for that.
Yeah, you would have been like I was very young.
Yeah.
I remember Iowa State played. I only remember because Iowa State played Ohio State one year in the tournament when Ohio State had a guy named Aaron Kraft, who I hated, but he was very, very good. But
yeah, so I'll just be rooting for fun. I'll just watching for fun. I kind of do things for fun. I don't have to
there's
compete.
nothing wrong with that. Having fun is great. So, yeah, I think that is going to do it all for us today. Thank you guys for listening. Remember to like and subscribe, or your quarterback will become Jaden Daniels' left arm.
And Brian Kelly will take your head coaching spot.
That too, always.
That's a killer duo.